Welcome back to another video. Happy New Year to everybody. It is the new year, and I would love to sit here and lie to y'all and say, New Year, new me. But you know, I don't lie to y'all. Um, I promise I wanted to come and start this year off with a new attitude and a positive and talk about having to change my name and stuff like that. But it didn't take 6 days for my project that doesn't ever want to seem to go away to PP and my Cheerios, as they say, and ruin my day. And it's been a day. If y'all not keeping up with my X and Twitter and stuff like that, y'all are missing it. But a lot of things going on. Try to keep everybody updated with what's going on. For those who are new here, I'm the Grumpy Dad, as y'all can tell already. And like I said, we're starting out with a bang. So we got a lot of projects to go over. Took a quick look at the charts and stuff like that. But going back to what I was speaking about earlier, the project that we just can't seem to go away, and it just right when you see announcements that they're calling it quits and they're going to pull the plug on it, they just pivoting into another type of Ponzi. And me trying to be the nice guy, their token finally had a little bit of liquidity into it. I had 150, 160, 170, 180,000 tokens, 200,000 tokens. And instead of me being a complete douchebag like I've been accused of, I wasn't going to wreck everybody's liquidity and stuff. I just was taking a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. And I even actually one time when the price got really low, I even bought a little bit of it just so I could say I was giving back, just to try to give. 'Tis the season, And just as they're getting some volume and just as they're getting some people to add liquidity, and liquidity is actually going up and volume's going up and the amount of trades are going up, what do they do today? Remove all liquidity like it's part of some kind of plan. And it goes back to, and then you have the sheeple in there who are just going along with it, and they're trying to say that they're going to exchange that token that they're buying right now for like a penny or less. They're going to do this exchange for 73 cents. And the sheep will just go sit there and listen to it and believe it, like as if that money's going to come out of thin air. I don't care. It's my plan was to buy some Nubila and some different projects like that, and throw some of that money in, that I get from that into, some new projects and stuff. But I didn't get a chance to get all my tokens. I wasn't even going to cash out all my tokens. I still got another 90,000 tokens left. But I guess that's my bad for being a nice guy, not just trying to sell it all and wrecking the whole price and stuff like that, taking all liquidity. But that's what I get. A lesson learned. But let's get on to our positive projects that are real projects, not Ponzi's or anything like that. And let's see what's going on with those. I'm gonna say this video won't be over an hour, but I'm not going to start the year off lying to y'all either. All right, so first thing we're going over is the charts. And I don't go deep into all the TA type stuff like that. It's just that I like to go through these charts because we can, when we look at some of our projects and what the price action is of the projects, as you can see right here with the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin has gone up a pretty decent amount since we last had our video, which was last Monday, which was about the 30th, if I'm not mistaken. So since the 30th, you can see that we've had some pretty decent price action going on. And it's about what time? About 8 o'clock. So we can look at that price action. And we've had about a 10%, a little over 10% increase. And it's going to go back and forth and back and forth. Depending on who you listen to, depending on who you watch, and who you go to your TA for, because you don't come to me for TA, that's for sure. But it's going to go up some more. It's going to go down some more. It's going to hit some resistance. And, with the election not coming, with the inauguration not coming for another 2 weeks, that's what a lot of people seem to be waiting on for some reason, that they think that that's what it's going to take to get this to really magnify and go up. But either way, we have actually been going up on this kind of upward incline since, New Year's Day. It has been steadily going up for the past 7 days now. And you know, you had this really big jump. I don't like to see that, because normally what happens is we know that when it jumps up way too fast, it's either going to correct or start coming down. So now you got this sideways action. This is the 1 hour chart right here, but you do have this 1 hour, this kind of sideways action. You look at Solana, and I go to Solana just because, well, I'm trying to keep this video short. A lot of the projects we talk about are based on Solana, so I like to kind of balance it out. So Solana has had about a 15% increase since our last video. Really, in that, you look at the peak today, it's at about 17%. All right, so getting started off early for our projects, we're starting off with Entropy. So Entropy's price is still about the same as it was last week. I was until a couple hours ago, making about $20 a day, mining about 130,000 tokens. My second cred that I have has burned 15.9 million entropy so far, which means I have burned an equivalent of 2,500 entropy. Now, on the positives for entropy, I will say that the professor, as they call him, has been working hard, and he has got all the flags finally removed from the entropy token. So when you go to Dex Screener or Bird Eye or one of these, kind of Dex Screener type websites, you will now see that the flags have been removed. Before, they had a flag about, they still had mint authority, and somebody said they had one about freeze protocol, but I don't remember seeing that. But somebody did say it online. I don't remember seeing that. I remember seeing there being one flag. But either way, that flag has been removed. That's a positive thing going forward for them to try to expand this out even further. That's the good news. I'm not going to say whether it's bad news or not, because apparently I'm in the minority, but there was also a new, I guess it's an EIP that they have, entropy improvement proposition, whatever you want to call it, that they will, from now on, when you claim, before 2 point something percent of when you claimed was going back to the foundation or whatever it was, and I had no problem with that. 2% when what was good about entropy is the miners make everything, and you didn't have really a foundation or founders or anything like that getting anything out of it. And I understand that was their shtick, as they call it. But now they passed a new EIP that 10% of when you claim, 10% will go to this pool to go towards other projects. Now, I'm not going to dwell on it, because maybe I just misunderstand it. Maybe people just don't want to be honest, or maybe I'm just completely wrong on this one. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat it and I'm wrong. But 10% of what I made goes to somebody else. And after 7 days, it kind of adds up. I don't know. Apparently, if you read this, I'm in the minority and everybody else loves it. So that's just me being grumpy. Maybe it was just a bad day after the Defli BS that was earlier. Maybe I'm just completely wrong on this one. So I'm just gonna breeze over it and just keep on going. How about that? So next we got GEODNET. GEODNET price is at about 0.23 cents. And I am making about, when I checked it today, I did verify, because I haven't really been keeping up with the amount of tokens I was getting. I was always watching the price action, but I didn't really, keep up with what the tokens were. But I did confirm that I am getting, about $5 worth of, maybe a little bit more than $5 worth per day of GEODNET. When you look at the pricing of it, it's not really too bad. It's at about 3.8%, but it was at 24 cents last week, 23 cents this week. Now, one of the reasons we look at, to be fair, one of the reasons we look at those charts to begin with is we want to see if this kind of correlates, and this isn't correlating. I would prefer to see GEODNET going up right now when you have Solana and Bitcoin going up 10 and 15% respectively. I'd like to see this just being in the green, even if it was 1%. But hey, you know, it comes up, it goes down. It ain't the end of the world. Let's just, you know, we're just summarizing for this week. For the month, it is down 15%, which was at 27 cents before, 23%, you know, now. So on New Year's, they did burn, and you know, we've always said Geo is a token that has been burned a lot. This project has always been burning since the beginning. One thing I've always touted on here. So far they have burned 9.7 million geode for a almost $200,000 worth of geode, which makes me question even more about the price going down. So when we have burns, we don't automatically see a price correlation, you know, with prices going up, but still that's a decent amount that has been $200,000 has been burned. So, you know, we'll see. So, you know, the goals for 2025, engage and expand GeoDNet ecosystem and community, set the standard for reliability with the highest SLA for RTK services in the industry, develop groundbreaking technologies to make scalable robot and drone development easy. 12,000 base stations so far for, so that's GeoDNet's update. So another thing I kind of want to start hitting on in the future is, because I've had people ask me about it, is staking with GeoDNet. So when a new super hex comes out, you have the capability of staking to it. If you go into these documents that's in the new super hex section, and it will tell you about it. And basically you stake your tokens. If the super hex is activated at the end of that period, you'll get, you know, I think it's like 10%, 20%, something like that. Something you might want to look into. You have to have a minimum amount of geode to be able to stake. So if you only have like 200 geode, you're not gonna be able to do it, but you don't need relatively a lot, but you do need some. So check that out if y'all interested in staking. 10% returns. So if you didn't notice, GeoDNet is number 3 right here. Next is Soarchain. Soarchain has had a price decrease just a little bit, nothing crazy, nothing to panic about. So Soarchain, it is down some compared to when we did our video last time. So 2.5 cents to 0.019 cent. It is now on, as y'all saw earlier, on CoinMarketCap. Looks like it just started like today. So I guess it's a good sign. It does, in reading about it, it does need to get on some more. I don't know what's going on with these exchanges. Soarchain is a good deep in project. It's got a lot of following, a lot of devices out there. Why is it so hard for it to get on some more CEXs? I don't know. It's only got a 94 million circulating supply right now. So you expect to see this price go up a little bit. Again, none of this is financial advice in any of these videos. I'm not sitting here trying to predict the future. It does have a max supply of 1.9 billion SOAR, but we know that that's scheduled when to come out. So it's not like some projects where you have to worry about getting it all dumped. You know, so right now you only have a 94.1 million circulating supply right now. But reading through that Discord, there's no talk about what's going on with any of these CEXs or what the problem is with that. All right, so moving on. Where are we at next? WeatherXM. My WeatherXM device just got reconnected. I keep losing signal. I know I sound like that every video, but before it was just intermittently missing, like losing a signal for a couple of seconds a day, and then that would be it. This thing has been actually disconnected. I don't know why. I rebooted the little M2 device or whatever it is, and all of a sudden it works fine now. So it's at my office, so I can watch the weather when I'm in my office, so I know the temperature is outside. So I have been on vacation because I've been hunting, for those who have followed me. So I have not been at work since last Wednesday. So I don't know how long this thing's been disconnected. So just, I know it's making an average of $1.10 per day. So this price also is down about 3% in last day, 4% in the last 7 days. But I mean, 49 cents, 47 cents. Again, this is just like the other project I spoke about. Yes, I'd like to see a little bit of positive green here, but it could be way worse. You know, for the month, it's down 31%. That one hurts a little bit. But as far as me personally, I've always said I've not been, I didn't get in this project to be crypto rich. I got into it because I'm a weather geek and I'm a crypto geek. And this is also why I keep changing my mind daily and if I'm going to buy a Nubila device or not, because I just don't know. Do we have room for another weather, or actually two more weather projects? Because there's the other project that's out too. So I don't know. I keep changing my mind. I'm gonna speak about Nubila X towards the bottom, towards the end of this video. Look, this video is taking a lot longer for me to make because I'm actually watching. For those who don't know, I'm also a wrestling geek. Also, nothing like I used to be. My kids do still kind of watch wrestling, but wrestling WWE Raw is on Netflix for the first time ever. So I figured they'd be having some people come back and it'd be kind of special. So I'm kind of watching that on my other screen as I'm trying to make this video, and I'm getting distracted. So, but let's get back to it. So next we're going to have NATIX. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what I made with NATIX for the month because I wasn't keeping track on here of my total because I didn't want everybody to know what my total was. I have a new total. I don't know what my old total was. I can't find where it says, hey, you got X amount of increase. So I'm hoping by the next video I can find that. I have asked on the Discord. Nobody has been able to answer me. So I guess I'm going to have to make a ticket or something. But, you know, I don't know what's going on. Wouldn't even know how to look it up on the Explorer or anything like that. But I'm going to have to figure it out on how to figure out how much I made on NATIX. However, out of all the projects we have spoke about, NATIX seems to be hurting and bleeding the worst. They are down 15.5% in 7 days and 27% down in a month. Now, I don't know what they're doing as far as liquidity. If they're paying customers or not. If they don't have paying customers, so they can't add their own liquidity. I don't know how that's working with them, with their tokenomics and all that. But with crypto and some of these alts going back up, you would think you would start seeing a little more increase in this project, or at least in the token price. You know, that right there is like $75 if this price holds up. So I don't know exactly how this has all been broken down, you know, or anything like that. But for those who have been involved in this project for a while, you can go and claim those tokens again. And also, if anybody is interested in getting in the Soarchain, even if you are making, you know, $4 a day, you will still ROI on this project in 20 days. So less than a month. And then it's all lanyap, as we say after that, you know, in Louisiana. So if you are interested in the Soarchain device, I do have links below in my description. You can get a Soarchain device for about $80, give or take, with my discount, and get that rolling. The only thing is you do have to tether your phone either by Bluetooth or Wi-Fi with your Soarchain device. So that's Soarchain. So one more thing I want to say about Soarchain is when you go to the app now and you go to settings and you go to testnet rewards, you can see your breakdown of the airdrop from all your testnet tokens. So it is broken down. If you can kind of see all that testnet rewards, and you see how I have a green next to one of mine, that green means that I can claim those if I want. I have like 1,200 on the first one, which at the price currently is $24. So it does increase as time goes on to 1,700, down to 1,600, then to 2,200, 20,000, 2,000, 2,700, 2,500, then 37. I don't know how this is all split up, but it's split up. So even that, you know, when you figure out 37, so with NATIX, you know, I'm gonna still say it's $26 a month until I can figure out something differently. But that's NATIX. I'm gonna move on from NATIX. ERWIN is kind of the same thing. Price action really hasn't moved too much. Still making about 50 cents when the box is open, 1 or 2 boxes open a day. So you're making anywhere between 50 cents to $1, as long as you remember to go into the Discord every 3 days and charge your miner. It is a pain in the butt, but it's their little way, I guess, of making sure that you're staying engaged with the project and you're coming into the Discord. So I don't blame him too much for that. I don't knock him really too much for that. It's just that I have so much going on. I do not remember when I'm hunting for 3 or 4 days, where I hunt at Mississippi, I have hardly any internet at all. I'm not visiting Discord. So I try to charge it before I leave, day before. And I just charge it when I get home, which was yesterday evening. And I might have missed a day or two. So if you do open a box, which again, you have no control over that. I know I repeat myself from every other video, but just for those people who might be new, if you do open a box, you get $50 or $60, somewhere around there. Because I know when I opened the box, it was like 80, but those rewards have come down a little bit. So, but again, I've been involved in this project for about 3 or 4 months now. I've opened up a box once, but it's all random. Nothing you can really do about it. Your little ESP32 device, which I now have 2 because Flux Time has gone kind of under. They keep saying they're coming back, but we've been hearing that now for a month. Kind of giving up on that one. So I do have 2 projects. 2 of these open now. I'm trying to figure out what to do with them. No, they won't be for junk time, so nobody has to worry about wasting their time texting that. I'm gonna try to find some cool new projects that nobody's really heard of before, just to try to be something different. So that's ERWIN. Moving on. Grass is grass. Grass is still going on. We're not on Epoch 2 anymore. We're on Epoch 3 maybe. But again, until we get done through all the epochs, 4, 5, 6, might be 7 of them, we're not going to get tokens. Again, I was making comments in the Discord, talking to somebody about it in another project that they like the tokenomics. I'm like, how can you like the tokenomics of grass when you only get a drop every 3 or 4 months? What sense does that make? I will say, though, on the positive, to give grass a positive, they have had some very good price action in the last week. You hope you'd see this in all of our projects, but this is the green I'm talking about. This is the green I want to see. When all these other tokens are up, like we saw to begin with on the chart, you hope you could see the same thing. It was at 223 a week ago, and it's up to $3. When I was updating my prices earlier, it was up to 320 or something like that. So you can see that it's fluctuated. It's about 3% up, which is basically it's the same price it was at the beginning of the month. And this is where my confusion comes in. Yes, I know it's all being traded on CEXs and stuff, but there's no more token that's getting released. They've not had a drop with this since middle of October, I think. Kind of towards the end of October was when this grass drop came. But the price has been moving back and forth and back and forth. And not surprisingly, looking in the announcements page, there's no news. I've always said grass is very unforthcoming, if that's the word, on any kind of announcements. That's why a lot of stuff catches us by surprise. That's why I always lose faith in this project, and this project keeps proving me wrong. But I am running grass. I run grass on all my BitHarvest devices. I'm about to update another Helium device that I just took down right here that I'm gonna put at a friend's house in Mississippi. I'm putting BitHarvest on that. I know I said that last week, but hey, I've been hunting, has been busy, and he is not available right now anyway for me to go to his house to set this up. But it has a BYOD Wingbits license, so it's gonna get BitHarvest, so I can put grass on it and Wingbits on it, and Helium is already gonna be on it because it's a Helium device, on top of CureCoin and the Honeygain and stuff like that. So those devices run grass. I'm running grass on 6, 7 different projects. Listen, the grass airdrop, I got over $1,000 worth. So there's a part of me that says if it takes 7 epochs, which might take a few months, but if I get another 1,000 plus drop from them, I'm all happy. And I'm not going to complain, which I'm sure I'm going to complain about this. Like I'm complaining now, but I just don't think it needs to be that spread out. How about that? If you're interested in grass, I have a referral link below, which gives you some points to start out with. So it gives you some bonus points for using my link, and it helps me out too. Full disclaimer. So that is grass. Check out my link below if you're interested in grass. All right, moving on to my next project is Honeygain. I have not really updated this because I had several people. I did a video on Honeygain a week or two ago. Y'all go check that out if y'all not familiar with Honeygain. It's just another project kind of like grass. It's been out for a little bit longer, but basically any device you're running grass on now, whether it's an old computer, like I have an old laptop running grass, I also have Honeygain on it. Again, any devices that are going to run BitHarvest with grass are also going to run Honeygain. So I'm making, this says about 62 cents a day, but it's going to be a little bit more than that now because some people told me about Jump Task or something like that, which is part of the Honeygain project, which increases your rewards. I've kicked that in last week, so I'm waiting to kind of see where that's at now. So I know I was at about $25 of Honeygain. I added about $4 or $5 of Uptask. Now again, I am running this on 6 or 7 devices right now, so I don't want nobody to get too excited when I say this, but I'm probably making about $1, maybe a little more than $1 a day. But again, I'm running this on 7 or 8 different devices on different networks. With Honeygain, you can only run one device on one external IP. So don't just try to go and throw it on a bunch of computers on the same external IP network, because it's not going to work. Helium IOT, I really don't know what's going on with this. At some point, we into January now, so you should start seeing those IoT devices and mobile devices only paying out in HNT. I don't know what's going to happen to the IoT or mobile you're holding on to. If it's supposed to be chained to the HNT price. And, we'll see. I know last I checked that Helium was up a little bit. It was up earlier when I updated my spreadsheet. Now it's going to make me look like a fool because it's back down below 0.000001. But it is up 7% in 7 days, which it had been on a steady decline, so that is a good thing. So we can see that, as you can see, for the month, it's down 31%. So this 7% increase, I'll take it. Again, at one point, it was up to 0.0010, and it's kind of come back down. When you go to Helium, for today is down 3%, but still for the week, it is up 7.5%. It's up to 633. It was down at 580 something, 589 at this time last week when we made a video. It's still down 29% for the month. It was at almost $9. I think it was up to like almost $10 right here. Almost hit $10 December 16th. And it's come back down a lot. Now, we also had the market come down a lot too. So over the month. So we can blame some of that on that. Helium, I'm just hoping it really recovers. Full disclosure, I own a lot of Helium and IoT still. I did exchange a good amount of my IoT for HNT, but call me an idiot, just like I held on to my Fly for too long earlier. I'm holding on to my IoT just because I just feel dirty or just feel weird exchanging 200,000 or 300,000 IoT at a clip for HNT. I'm just curious to see what happens to it to a point. But I did already exchange some of that for HNT, so we'll see what happens with all that. Moving on. DIMO. I don't know what's going on with DIMO. For the last week, DIMO's kind of held steady. It's at the 17-cent mark. For the month, it is down 31%, which again, full honesty, that is kind of what the whole crypto market has been doing to a point. But where you did see this increase in the crypto market, just like some other projects, it ain't just this one. You don't really have this increase like we've seen with some of the other projects. DIMO did have this announcement about Ignite 2.0, whatever that is, building loads of different tiers and funding available. DIMO insights and news about, they're real big on this Tesla thing, 30,000 Teslas being connected to DIMO. And they'll be at the CES Consumer Electronics Show. That's basically the only announcements they got really going on right now. They're just chugging along. I still say DIMO is one of the easiest projects to use. You hook it up. You don't, at least mine with the Macaron through Helium. I don't have to worry about anything. We drive, my wife, my son, they drive their vehicles around. They don't have to worry about if it's even hooked up or not or anything. I seem to be always having some type of issue with mine. They're supposed to be returning mine that's in my truck. If y'all remember my previous, just to keep you up to date on all that, my previous announcements or videos, what you want to call it, I talked about, it says it hasn't been connected in 17 days, even though it says it's connected. So they're supposed to be swapping that one out. They said that I would be getting an address with a return label, RMA label. That was a week ago. I still had not heard back from them. Hey, it has been the holidays, but I still haven't heard back from them. But my device is no longer making any rewards, where before it was making rewards, even though it said it wasn't connected for 17 years, but it says it was connected. I was still making rewards. I'm not making anything now. So I don't know if they disconnected it, expecting it to come in, but I haven't got the RMA label yet. I'm so, for what I just said about how easy it is to deal with DIMO as far as the device itself, when it works, when it doesn't work, the customer service so far has been pain in the butt to deal with. Okay, moving on to Wingbits. I'm going to tell you, Wingbits devices are still selling. I know I say it every week because I'm surprised, and don't take that the wrong way. Y'all know out of pretty much all these projects that I'm in right now, I'm the most bullish on Wingbits and still in testnet. Even though that team tells me I need to calm down a little bit about it and, contain my excitement, I'm still very bullish on this project. But the fact that, when this project started selling their stations on through the different distributors, Hifix or Helium Deploy, I was selling 10 to 20 devices a day, if not more. People use my code, and so I was seeing those sales. I thought they would slow down, and while it has slowed down, it has slowed down, but there's times where I'm seeing 3-4 devices a day being sold now, still at least one a day. So that shows you the excitement and the word getting out on this project. And the way it's set up, I don't want nobody to think that, man, there's so many devices, this is going to be like another Helium, and it's no reason to get into it. If you check that Wingbits map and you check those hexes around your house, and there's no stations anywhere around you, the way this is set up is each reward hex, which is a little bit bigger. When you click on, say, somebody else's station, those bigger hexes are the reward hexes. Each hex is giving out so many rewards. So it doesn't matter if in Europe they're completely flooded. If you're in the central part of the United States where there's no other stations, you're going to get max rewards or close to max rewards. So you need to check that. So it doesn't matter how many other stations have been sold so far. If you are still in a right spot, or you can put this as a host in the right spot, Wingbits is still for you. We thought GeoSigners would be shipping by now. There's been no word on that. So I'd like to see GeoSigners be shipped as soon as possible, because the quicker we get GeoSigners set up, the quicker we have a chance to get to mainnet. Now, for those who are still looking to get devices, you'll know that I have my code right here, and this code will give you 10% off of Hifix.ai and Helium Deploy. And while Hifix.ai has been where majority of my stations have been sold, they have been very nice to me and very grateful to me. The facts are, Hifix no longer has given their $100 pre-order discount. I told y'all in many shorts, many videos, that's why y'all need to be subscribed here. Make sure that bell notification's on for these videos so I can keep giving y'all these updates. But right now, Hifix no longer has the pre-order discount. It's now $495, where before it would say $100 off. It doesn't say $100 off no more. We're hoping that everything starts shipping out in January, but even on this device doesn't have $100 off either any longer. So yes, if you use my code, you'll get $100 off this one. But we have to be honest here. If you go to the Helium Deploy website, you can see way up there at the top, they still have theirs $100 off. And with the code up here, GrumpyDad56, On the Wingbits device, that is the WB200, you can still get 10% off in addition to the other $100 off. So it'll be $39.50 off before tax and shipping on this device using my code. If you want, which I'm kind of triggered and offended by this, but if you want I call it the elite one, because y'all know I'm behind GeoDNet. I just showed y'all earlier, I'm making $5 to $6 a day with GeoDNet. If you want a GeoDNet combined Wingbits device where you can do both of them, those are the MGW310s. Those will be $9.95 here. And Helium Deploy gives $50 off if you've used the code, follow me on this, GrumpyDad56XL. Actually, XL for me would be a compliment because I have not fit in the XL shirt in about 10 years. So I guess I shouldn't be upset over that. I should be happy. Thank you for giving me XL instead of triple XL. Hey, it is what it is. All jokes aside. My point is, there's still time to get into this project. If you go to wingbits.com, let's go there real quick, just real quick. So we're at wingbits.com. You come up here to map, you click on map, and you can see where all the stations are. This is where all your stations are. If you go and you click on a station, if it's online, see, like this station's offline. This might be somebody who's waiting on a Wingbits device to get delivered. Here is another station. That one's offline. Here's another station. That one's offline. So these are stations that have, they're waiting for it to be delivered, or it's offline for some reason. This is a station that's online. So when you click a station, you can see how big the reward hexes are. Like I was saying, each reward hex gives out a maximum of about 20, don't quote me on it, 25, 26, 27 wings a day. And depending on where you are, if your station's the only one that covers this reward hex, you're getting all those. So it doesn't matter. Now, what I was saying earlier is, this is, these are the reward hex. I mean, these are the ownership hexes. So if you live, say, in this hex, you can't get a device. If you live in this hex, you could get a device if you want to. But again, if you have all these stations here, all these stations are all splitting wings. But if you live in an area that does not have any of the stations, might be ripe for you still. You live in the area. 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 You live in the state of Nevada. Because even if there's only one station, I would still put a station up around here, because right now he's getting the max rewards. If you can get a station that is high up above the roof line, because this is line of sight, the higher it is, the more you can see, because these aircraft are 40,000 feet in the air. This project is still for you. If you live in this area, I hate to say it, not like we some elite club, but this isn't for you, because you'll be getting one wing a day and you'll be complaining that the project doesn't pay. So I just wanted to hit on that again real quick, because it's been a while since we kind of went over all that like that. But again, this is the code, Helium Deploy, hivefix.ai if you want to still use them. The code works there. And again, if also at heliumdeploy.com, if you want the combined device, it's GrumpyDad56XL is the code. At hivefix.ai, my code works for any item that you find on that website. If you just want to, if you already have a Wingbits device and you decide you only want a GeoDNet device, or you want an antenna for GeoDNet or something like that, you can get that and still use my code for 10% off. Helium Deploy, some items use the code. I have that item on a couple of different things, the Soarchain devices. Also, I just worked out with them today a code for the Nubilas, since I'm going to start talking about those more. So if you want a Nubila and you want a discount, you can use GrumpyDad56 at Helium Deploy for a Nubila device. Moving on. Next, we have Silencio. I am hustling. I am bustling. I am going crazy over Silencio. I am trying to up my numbers. This is not really updated. I didn't get a chance to update this before the video, but I am above 1.1 million SLC. My ranking is about a 7. I was up to 740 at one point, but when I went hunting, I'll get no internet. It's hard to do Silencio. Not a lot of hexes to cover. So, I kind of missed out on a few. I think I might be at about a 760 right now, and I'm on a it has to be about a 342-day streak right now. So I'm getting those bonuses. I have a lot of people that have come on board. Thank y'all. My goal is to hit at least 100 referrals. I'm at 76. If I can hit 100 referrals, I'm planning on doing some type of little giveaway, whether it's going to be some tokens or some type of device or something like that, just because I'm trying to up my numbers for Silencio. So for Silencio, I do have on this side in blue, because some people said they couldn't read the red for some reason. So I made the blue a little bit bigger with a black kind of outline. But download Silencio for free. Use my code SJSO395 and start running some Silencio. You still have time to get in before this airdrop. So a couple of updates from Silencio. They talked about I think I talked about this last video. They've had 1 million on-chain transactions so far on Peak. You'll know I'm high on Peak. I've also been DCAing into Peak, not financial advice, but it's just a new token with a lot of stuff going on the chain. So I just figured while the token was 35 cents, then 40 cents, then 50 cents, now it's 60 cents. I have been sitting here. So all my DCAs I did in the beginning have all doubled already on whatever I invested. I don't know what it is up to. I'm very bad at tracking that. And I do understand that when I'm buying now at 65 cents for Peak, I'm really hurting or diluting my awesome buy at 30 cents, but I still want to stack more of it. That's just the way it works. And when I did sell some of my fly earlier, again, it was my fault for being nice and not totally crashing the price. I wish I would have sold more of it, but I did buy a decent amount of Peak with that also. So stacked even more Peak. But anyway, so Silencio is at 112.7 million allocation request, which was 200%. This caused a little bit of issue. If you caught my last video, some people were not happy the way this went down, but they kind of did this sale of their token through Legion. People questioned why it was necessary. I don't know how this works as far as what Silencio gets out of it, because these people are actually buying token. Does this money strictly go into liquidity? Is a fundraise that this money goes to Silencio? If so, I have a huge problem with that on what they're going to do with $112 million. Which I know that just saying that out loud, there's no way that all goes to them. I don't know. Listen, y'all don't hurt my feelings. Y'all tell me in the comments below exactly how does this get broken up? Does it all go into a early buy of the token? People are doing the math and trying to figure out what based on this, what the price would be. And if they come up with this ridiculously low price and they're losing their minds in Discord, I'm trying to tell them, you cannot go off of this. Pre-sales are always cheaper. That's why they do these pre-sales, to get that money to come in, to get that liquidity to come in. And the investors, or whoever wants to buy these tokens early, they know they're buying it at a cheaper rate. That's the whole, as I like to say, the carrot, the bait, or whatever you want to call it, the reasoning for spending their investment money onto these projects. Why some of these people don't understand that, maybe not everybody should be into crypto or something, I don't know. But these people are losing their minds trying to figure out is how many Silencio they have in their wallet right now. What's that going to be worth? Basing it off of this. And I'm trying to tell them, don't do it. But again, I'm just an old person that don't know what I'm talking about. Because y'all know my favorite words. And there's a reason why my favorite words are I told you so, because people are idiots. So y'all can read more about that in the announcements. They're up to 500, which is basically 500,000 sensors already, which is basically downloading on your phone. Wrap up of 2024, 410,000 new users with 21.7 B noise data points. One thing that does come into my comments, which I'm not gonna say I disagree with, is what's the market for this and the reliability of the market. Not really the reliability of the market. What does the market think is the reliability of this? There's no way that Silencio is checking what these sound ratings are. And also what you're finding is the way they changed it is a first time venue, you get some decent points for, but a second and third time venue, it's so low of points. There's no reason to even scan it. To me, noise, if there's construction going on this week the noise is going to be louder than if I go there next week and take a sound reading when Joe Blow or Jane Doe took that sound reading 2 weeks before that. Same thing with hexes. But there's also no way of knowing if I was sitting in the car blasting music when I was doing this versus somebody standing outside or having lunch outside in a quiet area with no car. So I don't know what the market's going to be for this, but I say that because I tell people this all the time. We're in it for the crypto side of this. We've seen some projects that have no market at all, but the crypto has paid pretty well. We've also seen some projects, i.e. Helium, where the network has done pretty well, despite what people want to sit here and say. The network has done pretty well. Mobile has done well, but that the project doesn't pay worth of whatever. I think we said, what's Helium paying? 40 cents a day, 30 cents a day, or something like that. If you buy a device, it's going to take you 500 something days to ROI. So you can't really go off of that. But for the future, and you want to know how long this project is going to last, I can understand it also. It is something you need to take into consideration. Right now, this project's way too new for me to start losing sleep over that. Again, this is a free project. You download it on your phone when you're sitting at your restaurant or you're walking around outside, you go and visit new venues and different things like that. You check in and you make a decent amount of tokens. You do the little bonus video and you get a bonus points also, and you just stack them up. And it's free. You have nothing to lose. If the project doesn't pan out, you didn't pay nothing. The project's free. So use my code again to get into this project, and I'd appreciate it. Again, if I can hit 100 referrals, I will do some type of giveaway during one of my lives. All right, moving on. The next project that we're in is going to be 375 AI. Not really that much new news going on with that. Nothing really new in their announcements. I know that there was some type of vote going on about would we be interested in splitting the cost of a, if it was up to us, would we split one of the main nodes or whatever they're called that, were 20 something $1,000. And I know there was a vast majority vote that said yes. There's a lot of people interested in that. I don't know how that would work out. So I know they're working on that, but that's about it right now. I wouldn't say that the app itself, I run the app every day. I keep it running. I'm going to tell you right now, it eats battery like no other app I have. I know years ago, I used to use I know it might be dating myself here, but Yahoo Messenger used to have one that we all used and stuff. And that ate battery. Nothing like 375 AI. My new iPhone, I never have to charge it in the middle of the day, ever. When I get home, it's got 15, 20% left. I start working on this kind of stuff and it lasts me until I go to bed. Not anymore. If I don't charge it all during the day, it will be dead by the time I get home or very close to it. But hey, it is what it is. So again, not a lot of new news coming up, but 375 AI itself is pretty new. So I'm curious to see what they come up with next. And I'm excited to see what they come up with. So we'll see how that goes. And if there's new announcements, I'll bring them out to y'all. Next project is CHIRP. No really new news on CHIRP either. I'll check the Discord real quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But I don't think I really missed anything. Like I said, I looked a little bit earlier. But we have one new announcements. Let's see what this new announcement is going to be. So 2024 was unforgettable thanks to you. Numerous milestones. 2025 is packed with new. 500 million wireless is scanned by Cage. Listen, y'all know me. I get grumpy. That's why my name is Grumpy. That's why I earned it. I'm sick of hearing about Cage. Only because I can't participate. I still will say this, and I will argue with anybody who brings this up in Discord. The fact that you left off the iPhone from doing the Cage app, despite how people feel about iPhone, because they'll get in this little tiff-taff with me about, oh, y'all want to hold on to your iPhones. This ain't nothing about what my personal feelings are. Even if I had a Android device, you Google, this isn't just me saying it, Apple's iPhone has 55.9% market share in the United States. Yes, it was 58% the year before that. Quarter four, it had 62% market share. Okay, I'm not arguing that point. My point is that you've just roped off 56% of this market because you didn't want to come out with your app. Now, they're going to sit there and argue with me. I still think I'll argue with anybody. That's what I was getting at before I looked that up. I had people argue with me that iPhone wouldn't approve Cage. They've also admitted that they never attempted to approve it on iPhone. They assumed Apple or whoever it is wouldn't approve it because of the way it's measuring networks and locations. I argued with them because we use them in my job. I use them on both my phones, my personal phone and my work phone. We have apps. There are apps on Apple Store that do exactly what Cage is supposed to be doing. We just discussed an app that does that called 375 AI. And you're going to turn around and tell me that Cage can't get approved on the iPhone because it shows locations, geolocations with networks? There are several apps. There's apps out there that measure cell phone coverage so that you can submit it to this project or whatever it is, the app company, whatever it is, to show what the different cell phone coverages are between AT&T and Verizon and everything on an Apple phone, street level coverage. And y'all gonna argue with me that Cage can't get approved for iPhone because it won't do that? That's BS. That's when I start questioning and create FUD in my own head about a project. Y'all know for a long time I have been very pro CHIRP, but this is all you're hearing about. Now, there is some good news. So y'all heard me comment before about CHIRP, that people keep asking, when's TGE? And CHIRP would reply in Discord, TGE already occurred. And I've said many times, what most people think is TGE and mainnet as the same thing. CHIRP's been getting a lot of heat lately about, they've been saying mainnet's coming very, very soon since July, then August, then September, when we were doing those other apps. Remember, we did an app CHIRP for locating with some contests and challenges back in August. So they're known for putting these apps out that are meaningless in a month or two. I still got them on my phone, but that was no problem having that approved by iPhone. But anyway, I'm not gonna stick on that. But now they're trying to say, hey, CHIRP is TGE. We're just still not mainnet yet. So we do have a page on CoinGecko. So you can see that there's a preview page on CoinGecko. Like, this is supposed to make us feel all warm and stuff inside. Listen, I know this is a new project. I know I'm in a very bad mood already because of Defli. So I'm trying to say somewhat positive, but this is not how you combat FUD. And the CHIRP Discord is FUD full right now because people are all saying the same thing. This is supposed to be a network. Some people bought $800 devices. Luckily, I won mine. I keep saying if they come out for sale again, I was going to buy another one. I have a building to put it on top of that would have great coverage with nothing else, no other CHIRP device around for 75 miles. So I am pro CHIRP, but you can't argue with some of these people that all y'all talk about is this stupid app when y'all supposed to be an IoT network. And you're supposed to be proving to us why you think you're going to be successful when Helium wasn't or isn't, or, depending on who you argue with or talk to. So I can understand, some people starting to create the FUD from what's going on with CHIRP. We just saw those announcements. There was nothing really about the project, the network, like that cage. Download the app, play games. I got enough games on my iPhone to play. So hopefully we'll see some progress on that. And finally, lastly, we talked about them a little bit earlier, is as usual, I'll wrap it up with BitHarvest. You'll see I'm about to deploy my 7th device out if I can ever take a break from hunting and other stuff, work and different things like that. But Wingbits devices, you can multi-mine all these different projects and stuff like that. Wingbits, if you have a do-it-yourself device. Helium, if it has the Helium card still inside of it. Honeygain, Pawn Apps, Kiracoin, EarnApp, ERWIN, if you have an ERWIN key. Grass. So, you know, you can do all that stuff. For those, just to be, you know, fair and honest, I know that you can also do most of that with Crank. I've never played with Crank, nothing against those guys, but I've just never played with them. But I know everybody every now and then wants to remind me that Crank's out there too doing that stuff. Crank's out there too doing that stuff. I didn't really have a space for new devices. I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm gonna be dead honest with y'all. I came this close last night, this close to buying a Nubila device. It might have something to do with yesterday was a weird day where we woke up and I was outside sweating, and I put something on my Twitter. Make sure you're on my Twitter. I'm putting stuff up all the time that, hey, it's 75 degrees while we're taking Christmas decorations down, about catching heat stroke, getting ready for the 35 degree temperatures, freezing temperatures coming overnight. Yes, we had about 4 or 5 hours. I'm not exaggerating. We had about a 30 to 40 degree temperature swing here, and people today are losing their minds because it's 35 degrees outside with about 20-mile-an-hour winds, giving us about when I looked at it earlier, it was a 23-degree wind chill. South Louisiana people are not made for that. You have people calling in for work. You have people who wanted their businesses to close down. I'm sure there were some businesses that closed down because these people are not built for that. When we have a hard freeze, we shut schools down, we shut businesses down, close down offices for the day. We are not built for that. But anyway, so with all that going on, and with me having some, you know, I keep telling y'all, Defli, they had put a little bit of liquidity into their token. They had news that they were going to finally shut down. We thought the con was finally over, and come to find out they're just concentrating on their NFT Ponzi that they got going on. I told y'all, if I ever can get my $1,600 back out of whatever, selling my tokens or anything, you would never hear that out from me again. I was close to being on track of getting my $1,600 back. And as people are buying tokens and selling tokens and buying tokens, and I'm like, hey, this Fly token might be wrong. It might actually take off on its own, even if the project, just like I just said before, several times, I need to get that printed somewhere. Just because the project sucks doesn't mean the token's going to suck, or vice versa. Like Fly might be the scientific example here. Project sucks. They've conned people out of, it scammed people out of thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, way more than I was. But hey, this token thing's taking off. Price is dropping, people buying low. And then people are selling high and blah, blah, blah. And what a real crypto token is supposed to be doing. But no, the sergeant gets upset because people are selling the token. That's what happens in crypto. You're in crypto. And then he's going to say, we're stepping away from the crypto. But yet they're still involved in NFTs and paying out the NFTs. It just doesn't stop. My point is, they finally had this stuff going, and then all of a sudden they remove all the liquidity out. So I couldn't get all my tokens out. I tried to be the nice guy by not crashing the token. I have 90,000 Fly left. I could have sold all my tokens at one time, but I didn't do that. I wanted to give other people who have, and I did spread the word out a little bit that in different Discords and different places that, hey, for those who used to be in Fly, you can go get some money out if you want. Some people bought, some people sold, whatever like that. I was hoping I'd get a little bit more money out. I wanted to buy some crypto projects. I was about to pull the trigger on Nubila last night. And then I started reading the Discord, and I started reading some online reviews, and people are having issues with them. So I'm going to ask y'all, for those who have Nubila devices, I know they're new, They've only been out for a month or two, but I see where people are taking these things apart to try to reset them because they're locking up and having issues. And Nubila had to come out on Discord and say, please don't take out our devices, don't take apart our devices anymore to reset them. Please, we're working on a fix so that you won't have to reset them. And I kind of cringe because I don't want to go spend $300 on a device that happens with. Now I am seeing some people who are not having any issues at all. And they're saying on Discord, I'm not having any issues. So I am still doing some research on it. Again, I want to buy something, whether it's going to be Honeygain, whether it's going to be Nubila, or I just want to DCA into some more tokens with my money. Do I want to improve my sound in here? Like I keep saying, I need a new monitor. I'm on old monitors and stuff. I'd like to get at least one good monitor to be able to look at stuff. I'd like to be able to get a bigger monitor where I can just put some charts up when I'm doing other stuff and just watch charts, almost like a real crypto channel. I want to be able to put some soundproofing in here to get this echo and stuff out of here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have a couple of $100 from it. Nothing like life-changing or nothing like that. Nothing I can go pay no bills off with. Like I said, I didn't even get up to $1,600. So I'm still negative and under on it in that project. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I might just still get the Nubila just because I'm into the weather and I can't trust my weather XM to stay connected. So I might get the Nubila device. I just question also that there's no rules on how you install it. I argued with somebody earlier on Discord. He has the thing literally suction cupped to the side of his window on the side of his house. I've been in weather for a long time. I've been hooking up weather stations for a long time. To be NOAA compliant, to be, an actual weather station, you have to be so many feet off the ground. You can't have so many, amount of restrictions around you or objects or anything like that. Even Weather XM talks about that, where you don't see any of that from Nubila. And when I'm watching videos from my fellow YouTubers, it comes back to the point of they're more worried about getting you to buy it and use their code than to talk about the project itself. Yes, they talk about setting this thing up in certain areas to do air samples and stuff like that, but it still has a little wind vane thing on the top of it, and you're not getting wind. So if you are getting air samples, you don't know what those air samples are moving and how they're going back and forth if you can't measure wind because you got the dang Nubila device against your house. So I don't know what's going on with that. I like I said, I was so ready to pull the trigger on that. And the more I researched it, the more I kind of just said, let me just slow down. I got the money. Let me just read it. Let me just see if when this update comes out, maybe they'll fix it. Y'all tell me if y'all are in Nubila, what are y'all finding so far? Is there something I need to start covering? Do y'all think, I'm gonna tell you, I'm doing research. I got people saying, can DPIN handle 2 or 3 more weather projects? Because they got 3 or 4 of them out now. I don't know, there's same thing with Honeygain. Honeygain is doing kind of the same thing. They're competitive, I guess, to GEODNET. Supposedly GEODNET's having issues with people who are running Honeygains off their stations or something like that. I was advised of that. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. There's so many new projects coming out in nodes and things to hook up to your internet at your house. I'm kind of over that too. So I want to get more projects. I want to cover more projects for y'all. I just don't know what to get into. Y'all tell me, y'all shield me, what y'all think. Again, I don't want no more projects that I'm hooking up to Chrome extensions on my phone to steal the internet off of it. And, I know they're not stealing, but to use my unused bandwidth. Let me tell you something. I got right now, as we speak, 4 TVs running Netflix. Plus, my kids are on laptops doing work. My wife's doing school stuff on computers. I don't have unused bandwidth. I'm about to start playing Call of Duty when I'm done with this. I need all the bandwidth I can get because I'm old and slow. And I need all the bandwidth I can get. I'm not giving out no more bandwidth. That's why I don't run Grass or CureCoin or any of these other projects, Honeygain, nothing on this computer that I built or any home computer that's in my network. So I don't want no more of those projects. But if you have a real D-pin type, D-pin's physical project, let me know. Let me know what y'all looking at. So that's enough of me ranting for tonight. Hey, this is give me a mulligan for tonight. After tonight, we're gonna be positive for the rest of the year. I kept saying I'm gonna be positive for the rest of this year. Maybe it's because I've been hunting. It was freezing cold the other morning, and we're not seeing no deer. All the deer are at night, and it's illegal to shoot deer at night, so I can't do that. So, but still, I'm learning that I'd much rather be in a deer stand and not seeing deer than at work. So that's how that works. So I hope everybody has a great 2025. If you're having a great, I hope you're having a great 2025 so far, if I can get it out my mouth. And I still think this year is going to be a great, fun year. We have a lot of these projects. All these projects basically are coming out. They might be getting pushed back a little bit, but still, we have a lot of projects that, if CHIRP comes through, we know Wingbits is going to come through. Grass is going to hit another big release, if you want to call it that. Silencio. We have projects that are going to be coming out. So I think we're gonna be doing good, and we'll figure out what we're gonna cover tomorrow. So I know I went over an hour now, but hey, it is what it is. So thank you all for watching. Doing some more videos when I'm not in the woods, but this is about the last week or two of hunting season as it is, and then we'll be back to a regularly scheduled too many videos because y'all sick of looking at my face type of thing. So thank you all for watching, and see y'all in the next video.